Hello, welcome back to Bannerlord, Realistic Difficulty, episode 9, I believe it is now. And yeah, as we left off, we'd done a few tournaments, and we'd found one more person to tell us about Nizrit's Folly. And so this episode will follow that kind of format, because I really want to get that out of the way. This is probably the longest part of the quests I've done in the campaign. I haven't really done much of the campaign, but this part, for some reason, takes a long time. Just because all the lords are spread out and you have to, go into certain cities and towns and things like that. Anyway, we'll continue. So, let's go. Hopefully, we'll go to that siege over there, because normally when there's a siege, there's a lot of lords, and some of them will hopefully tell us about Nizrit's Folly. It's probably not what they want to do at that time, talk to some stranger about a battle that happened ages ago. I was about to go into battle, but it'll be fun for us. No one in there, which is unusual. And I guess I could chase Regea around a bit more, but... Oh, no. Oh, there she is. Ah, just as I said. Okay, where is she going? There, no. Come here. Come on. There we go. I'm Nigel, who are you? I am. We'll see what she says first. Now then, come no closer, forgive me, but one cannot be too cautious. I would ask you your name. I am Nigel, who are you? No, let's change it to something else. My name is Nigel, Madame. May I ask your name? I am Regea, rightful Empress of the Calradians. I am Lady of Lycon and Onaria. It's an honor to meet you, good sir. Yes, it is. Can you tell me anything about the Battle of Pendrake? Of course. I did not witness the battle, but my husband, Arinkos spoke frequently of it. I assume he's dead then. He was one of the Emperor's most trusted commanders. I added the most there. He could not stop Nizrit's from marching to defeat, but he managed to salvage something from the disaster. When the Sturgians came over our barricades, he managed to lead a group of Nizrit's guardsmen out the back. My husband's small force held together and were joined by stragglers and fugitives. He described the march back. No food, little water, marching day and night to keep ahead of the enemy's outriders. But they survived, the only organized imperial force to do so. The city was in a state of panic after hearing the rumors of what happened. Arinkos kept things from descending into chaos. When it came time for the Senate to choose the next emperor, there was no question that it should be him. I loved him before as a man, but that day learned to love him as something more. What a gift he was to the people of Calradia. Thank you. What would happen to him? Pleasure. No worries. Sweet. Okay, that's another person. So, I believe we just have 5 more to go. Halfway there. So we'll go here first. How are we going for food? Pretty good. Let's see if we can sell any of this pottery. Oh, we can sell a bit of hardwood. Go to 10. Cool. Oh yes, and we also have prisoners from that massive battle we had with the bandits. So let's just sell them off. Unfortunately, they're not worth much. Okay, but at least it won't slow us down as much. Okay, so where do we want to go to next? I'm thinking... Have we gone into the Northern Empire much? I don't think we have, so we'll go that way. Oh, who's that? Okay, again. She's so hot. Ah, love her. I've never seen her this far out though. Normally she like hangs around there. But I guess I've never played with this patch, 1.78, so maybe everything's changed. Recruits. Do we need any recruits? We don't. Okay. Never mind then. We'll go to Dithmar. Dithmar. Yeah. Dithmar. We'll go there. See if there's anyone to talk to. Ooh, my sister. Okay, what do we want her to do? We have trained her in scouting, tactics, and medicine. What will that give us? A bit of combat experience. Don't really need combat experience, to be honest. It's... Oh. Excuse me. A bit of the flu coming back. We don't really need to have much for combat experience because they can gain that quite quickly in combat. So we want something that is hard to train in combat. What's that? It's like charm? No, don't need charm. Endurance might be okay. Athletics, still not okay. You know what, we'll give her archery. She'll be a good archer. I know I just said, kind of counters what I just said before, but out of these options, she's already kind of doing archery, so it'd be nice to have an archer companion too. Okay, fighting spirit, no, I don't care. Don't need more archery. We can get something else. Tactics, nice. Yeah, let's do leadership. Very good. And so I think we only have to wait 2 more years and then we can have her as a companion too. So, which we will strap her to a horse and she can shoot. Or we'll strap her to a horse and she can do some trading for us. Okay. We'll go to the arena and we'll join. They really like these round kettle helmets as rewards, don't they? Maybe they just had like a surplus of them and they sent them out. This year's arenas battles, sponsored by Round Kettle Overcloth. Ooh, javelin, not my favorite. I take it back. My favorite. Damn, those guys are tense. Bye, brother.
The day of victory is ours!
That wasn't too bad. Nice. That was easy. Hate bows. Give me a crossbow. Oh. Get him, get him, get him. Nice, that guy is absolutely kicking ass. Look at him, he hasn't even got any damage yet. He just took out a lord. Now I'm a bit worried. I'm joking. Never any doubt in my mind. In Nigel's mind, I should say. There's plenty of doubt in mine. But Nigel, he just charges ahead, he does his job. Okay. I think this will be the last companion we can give this to, yep. Do we want to give it to him though? Or should we keep him as light infantry? It's actually not that heavy, so you know, any survivability is better than none. Though he looks kind of weird now, but oh well. We'll go this way because there seems to be plenty of raiding, which means lords, which means hopefully someone to talk to. Well, let's see what our speed is, because we got that perk last time that helped with our movement. So let's see, that's a thing. Cavalry, footmen on horses, yeah, slight movement. That's great. Okay. Now I'm just going to see what the reward is. If it's not worth it, no, it's not worth it. Okay, it's just a sword. We'll do something else. Because I do actually want to complete the quest. As much as I love doing arena battles, they can get a bit monotonous. Okay. Let's go this way. I feel like we've already kind of been to Sturgia and done the Sturgians. We'll go to Varchek, and then if no one's there, we will go to Britannia, and then Valandia. Oh, there he is. Come here. Where's he going? Where is he going? He's going to Mazhadan Castle. Ah, okay. Approach. Speak with someone. Ragbold. I wish you could do that in a town. I don't know why you can do it in a castle, but in a town seems weird. Anyway, Grand Prince Ragnavad. Yours not the face I know. What is your name, stranger? I am Nigel, sir. May I ask your name? I am Ragnavad. Totally not, you know, Ragnar or something. King of the Sturgeons. I am Lord of Belgrade and Varchek. Cool. Know that if you ever cross me, you'll wind up as food for the ravens. Ooh. Now I'm curious. Yes, the day my father died, thanks to the Britannian treachery. When they pledged to support us in battle, we believed they would stand with us in the shield war like men. But of course, this is not the Britannian way. They sprung some woodland trickery up on the hills, killed off Nezret's vanguard, and no doubt spent the rest of the battle whooping and boasting and chopping the heads off the men who were already dead. It was Sturgeons who met Nezret's guard face to face. My father ordered me to stay back as he led them into battle, but he was at their head. He forced them back. Then they broke and ran for shelter of their camp. We went and attacked their ramparts and broke them, but my father was hit by an imperial mace at the moment of his triumph and died. He will never forget when a messenger ran. I will never forget when a messenger ran to me to tell me that my father was dead. But I knew I must swallow my grief because now I am king. I rode down into the ruins of the imperial camp to take their banner as a trophy, my inheritance won by my father and passed down to me. Oh, some of the boys were insubordinate, but I have since showed them that I am the master. Wonder why he's still Grand Prince then, if he's not. If his father was the king, why is he Grand Prince? Maybe that's just the title of Sturgeon. Nobility. Cool. So that's 6. Great. That was fortuitous. And we'll go to Britannia now. Hurry up. Thank you. Interesting. Yeah, so I think I've said this before. Oh, there's Caladog. Nice. Caladog. Hi, King Caladog. Stop there, stranger. I bid you peace, at least until I find out who you are anyway. Cool. I'm Nigel. Who are you? I am Caladog, High King of the Britannians. I am Lord of Maruneth. Okay, cool. I'm always looking for good fighters. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Can you tell me anything about the Battle of Pendrake? I'm a busy man, but there was always time to talk about the blessed Battle of Pendrake. Probably because you guys won, huh? Oh dear, our dear beloved King Ariel, a wonderful man, but with a heart perhaps just a mite too tender. He did not wish for us to go off to war, but then he disappeared, and I, his son-in-law, ascended to kingship. Sounds very coincidental. The clans cried out for war. They had 100 years of crimes against them to avenge. I, a father to my people, gave them what they wanted. Of course he did. Now the king uses tricks and traps in war. No Britannian fears to meet an imperial soldier, man to man, but we thought it would be a good laugh to use their tricks against them. So we laid an ambush on both sides of the wooded pass, and wouldn't you know, they marched right into it. They turned and twisted as our arrows rained down upon them, like fish going frantic in a pond as you draw the net tighter. Then, when they were greatly discomfited, that's a weird kind of term to use, we took up our flaxes and our swords and reaped the harvest. Oh, there were some unpleasantries later with the Sturgeons, but the spoils of war, but what a grand old day it was. Thank you. Okay. It's funny, I've never actually read the text, and I must say, I am not a fan of the Britannian king, nor the Sturgeons. So I think it'll be good, especially in Nigel's head. He's thinking, oh, maybe these guys do need to be put underneath someone's boot. Maybe I do need to revamp this empire. Because he's a loyal, he grew up as an imperial citizen. He's heard the stories, so hearing this kind of propaganda from the other side is a bit discomforting for him. So this is going to give him reasons to think about, you know, uniting an empire that is against and crushes these, well, avenges these kind of past misfortunes. Oh, there's another one. Aragon, wait! Wait! Oh, I should have seen where he was going. There he is. Where is he going? He is patrolling. Come here. God, they all have that bonus to move. There we go. I don't think I know you. Peace to you, stranger. I am Nigel. Who are you? I am Aragon of the Fan Dungle, one of the ancient lineages of the Britannians. I am Lord of Dunglaze. I am not one of those who loves war for its own sake, but I still need reliable warriors who are true to their word. Yeah. Can you tell me anything about the Battle of Pendrake? Ah, for any son of Britannia, will be no prouder moment in his life than that day. Any true son of Britannia, anyway. Ooh. Look, right before the battle, our king, Ariel, disappeared, and his adopted son, Caladog, becomes king. That sets tongues to wagging, you know? But let me tell you, old Ariel could never in his life have won such a victory as did Caladog. That day. We waited for them, like wolves in the wood, as their vanguard came up the winding road. They came without archers to protect them. Caladog blew his horn, and our bowmen fired on them from all sides. They turned their shields one way and were hit from the other. A glorious thing to watch. When they were all... sorry, I really need to just think. When they were all good and addled, like frightened sheep, running this way and that, the rest of us warriors descended upon them with flexes and swords. I cleaved this way and that. I took 12 heads, and mine was far from the greatest catch. Ah, the grandchildren tire of me telling this story. Okay. Well, I mean, he seems like a decent bloke. And I do love the whole Britannian vibe. Like, you know, these guys are up in the woods. They've got, you know, bows and arrows. And I like how they talk about how they ambush the Empire with bows and arrows. Because these guys have the best archery units in the game. So it's cool how there's a bit of, like, gameplay feed into narrative. So I'll probably definitely have some... recruit some of these bad boys during my campaigns, because the Britannian noble archers are so good, but Nigel, he respects them for what they did and how well they did it, but he just can't help get past that sense that you know, the world will be better off with an empire to unite the land. And maybe Nezeret, the last emperor, maybe he just didn't have the right kind of vibe going for him. So that's what we'll be doing. We'll be getting that right vibe. Let's see if we can find some more lords. Rustican. Nope. I'll just see what's there. We might be able to sell off some pottery. Or some hardwood. 10 sounds fair. Now we're going for food. Pretty good. Okay. Normally when I play, well, like in the past when I've played this game, I've almost always gone for Landians, just because you probably noticed this already. I love my crossbowmen. I love being a crossbow guy. It's just, I love I never thought I would, but I always, for some reason lately, I've just really liked having crossbow. Like, I like it as a unit, as a weapon, especially on your main character. And it's one of the more survivable weapons to have, especially on realistic difficulty. It gets you through the early mid game. But yeah, and I also like the night vibe that these guys have. So it's a very cool mix of weapons these guys enjoy, which I enjoy. And they are a pain to deal with when you're against them, so it'll be a challenge for sure. And yeah, like, I can kind of assume where the campaign's going. I assume the story will get you to have like lords kind of defect to you because you have the flag. And you know, it would be easier if I like waited 10 more years and just was a mercenary and developed kind of relationships with all these lords, you know, set them free every time you capture them, so then they have a positive rating and they'll likely defect to your side when you create your own faction. So yeah, you could like wait around and do things like that for ages, and then when you come time to create your own faction, there's death. But you can, like, it would be very easy to then conquer the map, but we didn't have time for that, basically. And it's boring to, you know, just do the same thing over and over again. Okay, so King Dirthfoot, forgive me for what may seem an abundance of caution, but please keep your distance just beyond sword length is fine. So who might you be? He is king, so we will address him appropriately. My name is Nigel, sir. May I ask you your name? I am Dirthfoot, King of the Valandians. I am Lord of Gaeland and Sargot. I shall mark your name down. Now, do not take it amiss if I do not immediately extend my hand in friendship, for the world is a treacherous place, and I have learned to be wary. That is fair enough. Oh, he's -1 already? Interesting. Can you tell me anything about the Battle of Pendrek? It was a victory of the kind that is almost as bad as a defeat. Ooh. We had given an oath to the Empire to join them if attacked. It seemed clear to me that we should have honoured our oath, that the Britannians and Sturgians were aggressors, but there is always room to argue with details. Ultimately, our barons did not wish to fight with the Empire, so they resisted coming to its help. Ooh, he doesn't feel good about that. Nezarets, when he heard we were hesitating, sent us a message calling us cowards and traitors. And you say that to a Valandian noble at your peril. Nezarets should have known what he was doing. We joined the Sturgians. Oh, so not only did he he wasn't a great emperor then. Not only did he caused them to his allies to hesitate joining him, he also freaking antagonized them. Genius. I did not fight in the battle. I stood on a hill telling my commanders where to go and who to attack. And we did rather well. I think you've heard. Still, we took losses, heavy losses, and gained little. And for this the barons blamed me, even though it was their idea to fight. I learned that day that a king should always lead, never follow. But it was a bitter lesson. Thank you. Okay, that's interesting. So some lords who actually won are having difficulty. Don't see it much as a victory. That's interesting. Bit of a cough. Lovely. Alright, so how many do we have more? I think 3 more? 1 more. Ah, that was quick. Great. It's been a pretty productive episode. So 1 more. I wonder where we could find them. Maybe in the original lands of where we started. Normally it's 2 or 3 lords per land, so hopefully we'll be able to find them this episode. No. Wonder what they have as a reward. If it's armor, I will. Ooh, bronze pauldrons. No, we'll leave that for now. We don't want to waste too much time doing things that won't benefit us a whole lot in the interim. We really want to know what happened at Nezarets Folly. Although I think we have a pretty good idea now. We probably just need more Empire perspectives, because I think we've got all the perspectives we need from like the other nations. maybe possibly Khajaits. We probably might need one more. But yeah, otherwise, I think it's just Empire. We need someone from the Empire to talk to us. Possibly the Southern... Oh, sorry, I should say either... Who are these guys? The Western Empire? We need their lord, or their like leader, I should say, and maybe the Northern one as well. That's who we're looking for. Actually, let's look that up. Where's notes? Heroes. Actually, no, before we go that, we'll go home, kingdoms. We're in the Western Empire. Garios. I don't think we've talked. Have we talked to him? No idea. But he was last seen in Milakova. Okay, we'll go that way. That's useful because we might run into the other lord up there. Great. Oh man, those coins really go down quickly. We might stop here quickly at Rota to... What's the time? We could do one. We can do one. Arena battle. Another round kettle helmet. Of course. It's just the fashion. It's so you probably don't know this, but Round Kettle is it's a character, and he has recently just designed this new helmet that's named after him, and just happens to look like a kettle as well. And yeah, everyone loves it, and everyone wants a piece of it. So that's why it's such a highly coveted reward. But Nigel's had enough. He doesn't mind it, but this is his 5th time winning one of these things, and he's a bit sick of it. So luckily there's other cash incentives. Oof. That was brutal. Imperial Manilviltian. I can't say that word. But these guys are absolute bosses. Like I'm always hesitant to use units that, because normally they come with those big spear thingamajiggies. Super powerful though. But normally I'm very hesitant to use infantry that don't come with shields, just because their survivability. But because they wear heavy armor, they're actually really good. Like, they get a lot of kills, especially on sieges. Not bad. And they have like plenty of room to swing. They're like OJs. They're very cool. Not OJs, they're the goats. They get so many, like an individual one I've seen kill like 11 or 12 units, which is ridiculous. Really. And we're going to sell that. Oh, it's better than this one. Okay. It's an upgrade. An upgraded kettle. Well, if we ever need more water, more tea, we know where to go. I'm going to sell more of these to give us more food. We'll just buy 200? I'm sure that's... Yeah, that'll be right. We'll still plus 300 from selling the kettle. Cool. That's interesting though. I didn't know herd the... I mean, it makes sense, but I didn't realise that the mules acted as a herding animal. So maybe it would have been a better idea to have less herding, but that perk to increase carrying capacity. So maybe that is the upside, but I don't know. Oh, there he is. I just missed him. Lucan, come back here. Thank you. Emperor Lucan. I love how, like, some lords, they're like, oh yeah, we're not a lord, we're not like the emperor anymore, we're like the king, or we're like the prince, or, something more democratic. Whereas these guys, like, I think him and Regea are just like, no, we're the real empire. The other guys just They're rebelling against us. So we're still called the Emperor and the Emperors. They should just marry, like, really. Oh, well. Anyway. Emperor Lucon. That's enough. Who are you? I'm Nigel. Who are you? I'm Lucon, rightful Emperor of the Calradians. I've heard that before. I am Lord of Dithmar and Aragon. Agaron. I will always listen to a man of integrity. On the other hand, if you lack that, please do not plague me with your company. Ooh, ouch. So I think I get a +1 because I am of the same ethnicity. I think, or like background. I think that's why. And that's why I'm like -1 for all the other nations. Anyway, that's just theory. Can you tell me anything about the Battle of Pendrake? Yes, I was a junior officer in Nezret's staff. Narrate. I'm going to just say Nezret's because I've seen it so long now. Anyway, people say much about the battle that betrays a lack of understanding of Nezret's and the circumstances he faced. So he was a junior officer and he's become emperor. That is some Praetorian Guard level shit right there. Nezret's had an obligation to avenge the Britannian attacks on our land. He marched out with all the forces he could gather. The Valandians betrayed us. But that's what you expect from honorless barbarians. Fortune favoured the enemy. What matters is that we did what honour required. Perhaps Nezret's was rash, sending our infantry up into the hills to storm the Britannian fort. But he thought he could grab the pass quickly, before the enemy had time to reinforce it. If he had made the other wager, and that turned out to be wrong, people would say he was hesitant. Very true. I stayed with Nezret's until we were forced back to our camp by the Sturgian infantry, and then fought on the battlements. Eventually we could hold them no longer. I did not see what happened to Nezret's or to our banner. Arinkos got us out of there and got us home. I did not respect Arinkos before, but that day I saw he was worthy to be emperor. Okay, so he agreed that he was a good emperor. That's interesting. If you want more information, there are 2 people you might want to speak to. Istinia worked as a sort of unofficial spy master for Nezret's. She lives near Epicratia. Then there is Azagos, who was his bodyguard. He's supposed to be near Marineth, though I hear he's changed quite a bit since then. Okay. Cool. Very nice. So yeah, we'll call that an episode, and we'll go to Epicratia and Marineth. I think you need to go to both. I can't remember. This is like the last thing I did. This is like the furthest I've ever gotten. So, yeah, cool. New for me, new for you. Anyway, I am Japal, and I'll talk to you later.